Good morning, dear students. So, today we will be proceeding with the second part of our first chapter, that is integer. And the topic that we are going to discuss today is fundamental operation of integers. Now, first of all, you have to know what do we actually mean by the term fundamental operation. Now, in arithmetic means when the part of maths or say the branch of maths that deals only with numbers. Okay, there is a term or statement known as fundamental operation of arithmetics, and that denotes addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division. Today, we will be discussing about these operations exclusively for our integers, and in this class we are going to discuss only about addition and subtraction. So I hope you all are going to enjoy. So now we are going to discuss the properties of addition and subtraction of integers. So I'm very sure you all know the meaning of the word property, and here in maths property you can also refer them as rule. So whatever property or rule you are going to learn now, always remember that you have to follow these rules whenever you are dealing with integers. You cannot proceed any further without following these rules. Alright, these are very important, and you need to remember these rules along with their names as well. Alright, so the first property comes like this: closure property of addition. Now, closure property of addition states that for any two integers a and b, a plus b is also an integer. Now, we will understand this with the help of an example. Suppose we have a equal 2 and b equal 3, and as you know, both of them are integers. Then a plus b is equal to 2 plus 3, which is equal to 5, right? And 5 is also an integer. It has been proved that if a and b are two integers, then a plus b is also going to be an integer. Now, why this particular property is known as closure property? The reason is, see, a and b is also an integer, and a plus b is also an integer. Like, the statement itself has its meaning. Therefore, it is known as closure property of addition. Now, coming to the second property, closure property of subtraction. So, it will also go the same way. For any two integers a and b, a minus b is also an integer. Again, we are going to take an example. Let's say a equal 4 and b equal 5. So, a minus b is equal to 4 minus 5, which will be equal to minus 1. So, I hope closure property of both addition and subtraction is clear to you. And you can also try the same with different numbers. As you can see, I have taken all the positive integers. You can try with negative integers also. You can take one negative and one positive also. Now, the next property we have is your commutative property of addition. It's very easy as well. It states that for any two integers a and b, a plus b equal b plus a. Now, we will take examples to understand it in a better way. Suppose we have a equal 5 and b equal 6. Then a plus b will be equal to 11. It's quite easy, simple addition. And then b plus a is also going to be your 11. Let's take another example. We have a equal minus 5 and b equal 4. I hope you are able to recognize the minus sign over here. Now, the a plus b will result into minus 1 and b plus a will result into minus 1 as well. But one thing I want everybody to notice here, if you can see, minus 5 have been placed within a bracket. What is the reason that I have put a bracket here? Because minus, this minus and this plus, they cannot be together without any cover. So bracket is like a cover. Alright. Now even you have to do it in the same way. Whenever you are dealing with negative integers and two signs are together, always put a bracket to the second number. Alright. So now we can say that a plus b equal b plus a. Going to the fourth property, that is commutative property of subtraction. It states that for any two integers a and b, a minus b is not equal to b minus a. Now here is a little surprise for us, right? So let's see how does it work. We will take example here. Suppose a equals 7 and b equal minus 5. Now a minus 5 will be your 7 minus bracket minus 5, which is equal to your 12. I hope this addition is clear to you. Minus minus makes it plus, right? Then another side, b minus a is equal to minus 5 minus 7, which will result into addition, but the answer will be your minus 12. So since I have already explained in your previous class that if the greater number here between minus 5 and minus 7, minus 5 and minus 7, now if you consider them as negative integers, obviously minus 5 is greater than minus 7. But if you consider only 5 and 7, forget about their sign, whatever they possess, then minus 7 is 7 is the greatest. Therefore we have to follow the sign of 7. I hope I'm making myself clear. Now since we know that 12 and minus 12, they can never be equal, therefore a minus b can never be equal to b minus a. I could have written a simple statement in this form that subtraction is not commutative for integers, but in order for you to picture it properly, I placed all the examples. So I hope this part is clear to you. Then the next one we have is your associative property. Let's see what it says. For any three integers, okay class, so now you have to be little conscious. We have three integers now. For any three integers a, b and c, a, b and c can be positive or negative. Okay, no need to worry about it. The property will remain the same. A plus bracket b plus c is equal to again bracket a plus b plus c. Now again we will use example to understand it in a better way. For example, we have a equal 5, b equal minus 3 and c equal 8. Now, although I am not writing left hand side and right hand side here because it's only an example, but presume this to be the left hand side while this one to be the right hand side. So, we will first deal with the left hand side. Okay, so a plus bracket b plus c will give you 5 plus 5, which is equal to 10. Now you must be wondering how come we got this 5 over here. It's very simple. See, within our bracket we have minus 3 plus 8. Now I'm going to tell you a fundamental rule or mantra while solving any question of maths that has a bracket. Whenever you see a bracket, you need to solve anything that is present in the bracket first. Once you solve whatever it is there in the bracket, remove the bracket and then you proceed with the rest of the numbers. Always keep that in mind. That will make things a lot easier for you. Okay, keep this as the fundamental rule. Then, so we have minus 3 plus 8. Minus plus will always result into subtraction. So we got 5 and 5 plus 5 together we have 9. Now let's see the other part. Yes. So a plus b within bracket plus c is again going to give you 10. I hope you're able to understand how I got 10. And thus we can see that a plus bracket b plus c is always equal to a plus b plus c. However, if I replace all the plus signs present in this property as minus, things will change. Now there is a small task for you. You can try putting the minus sign in place of all the plus sign in this property, and take example and try it yourself. Okay. Then the last one for today, it is your additive identity. So what is additive identity now? Now it goes like this. For an integer a plus 0 is equal to a, which is also equal to 0 plus a. Very simple, right? But why it is termed as additive identity? I will tell you. See, suppose we take an integer a, and if we add it with 0, again we are going to get what? A. The same integer itself will be the result. That's why 0 is the additive identity of the integer a. 0, give me a minute. Yes. So 0 is going to be the additive identity for any integer a. Alright, now I have an example also. So suppose a equal minus 4. Now it's very simple. If we add 0 to a, minus 4 plus 0, it will come into, and the result will be minus 4. Just a minute. The result will be minus 4. So I hope you all have understood these properties. Now in today's class we discussed the closure property of addition, closure property of subtraction also. Then we discussed the commutative property of both addition and subtraction, and we found out that addition is commutative while subtraction is not at all commutative, right? Then we discussed the associative property, and lastly we discussed the additive identity. So I'm very sure that you will not find it very difficult to remember these names as well as the statement they are making. And why it is important for you to remember? Because you will be getting questions where you have to use this property, as well as there will be questions where the statement will be given to you and you will be asked to write down the name of the property. So remember that you have to remember these properties. Okay, so this much was for today. I hope you all have understood very nicely, and based on this video there will be a worksheet for you which you have to complete and submit by evening between 6 to 7 p.m. and if you have any doubt, please feel free to ask, like I always say. Thank you.